We had a really cold night last night. One of the first cold fronts of the year. We got water temperatures in the upper 50s right now, so we're weaving in and out of these boat docks, trying to pick off some fish that are behind the docks on a buzzbait. These fish are really pressured, and a lot of them have been living around these boat docks, so it's just, when they move up shallow, it's just an easy place for them to go. They go straight from that big dock right there to the bank behind it and feed on big shads. So as I'm approaching these boat docks, I'm trying to throw back behind these cables here. And as I'm approaching the cables, I like to make a cast just short of that cable, just on the outside, in case there's some fish that are easy to get to. Because a lot of times when you hook them behind those cables, it can be really hard to get to that fish. You gotta bring him over that cable. So I like to start by making a few casts outside, and then I like to pick apart any kind of cover that's behind the dock. So in this case, we've got a few trees laying here, some bigger boulders. A lot of times there's a dock support back there. You know, wherever I think that fish is laying, I want to get a shot in there first. A lot of times you don't have a very big strike zone, so you want to make real accurate casts. And in this case, we've got a cold front, so I'm going to make multiple presentations back here. Just in case there is a bass back there, I kind of want to aggravate him into biting. And I've got a piece of plastic on the end of there, just like a plastic toad, just to give those fish kind of a target. And it takes a lot of time to go around these boat docks, so I'm gonna make multiple presentations into that sweet spot when I do get back there. There we go, victim number one. So that was on the buzzer beater buzzbait. Fish number one. That didn't take long. But in general, when you're looking for these docks, you want somewhere that's just got a lot of shade behind it. Preferably a dock that you can actually throw around the cables. Some of these have 3, 4, 5 cables. We might only have 3 or 4 feet behind the cable to retrieve the bait. But typically the bass do kind of relate to shade this time of year. A lot of times when you don't have, wind and clouds, you can just kind of run shade and stay around some active fish. There we go. Boy, he is an ugly bass, but he is a keeper. About 17 inches long, should be a big one, but he swallowed it. Didn't really. Well, I got him on trailer hook and the other one. Okay, victim number two. Just got to cover some water. That one was close to a dock again. So maybe that's the pattern for the day. As I'm weaving in and out of these docks, I'm just trying to be mindful of, everything that's around me, like shad, little laydowns, and trying to be slow and move quick at the same time, which is a hard thing to do. You're trying to cover water, but you're trying to be slow and quiet enough to kind of sneak up on these fish and make the right cast. Boat control is really important, especially when it comes to landing them. You can make these casts back behind these cables, but you really want to get yourself in a position to where if you get that bite, you can go in there and actually get that fish. So you want to get, fairly close to that cable, and you want to get in a position to where you're kind of, straight on or at a 45 where I can pull that bait back over. Try to get to those hard to reach places, and a lot of times you'll be rewarded. My setup for fishing a buzzbait is a 7'2" medium heavy action rod. This one's a Johnny Morris Signature Series. I like the 7'2" medium heavy because it has a little bit of tip, but also a lot of backbone to pull those fish out of cover from behind boat docks and things like that. But the tip allows me to make pinpoint accurate casts behind these docks. I'm using a 7:5 to 1 gear ratio reel, catch up to those fish when they bite that buzzbait and take off the other direction. 50-pound Bass Pro Shops XPS braid. It's heavy enough line where it's going to be abrasion resistant against those cables. I've also got a buzzer beater buzzbait from Bass Pro Shops. This is a 1/2 ounce model. gold blade, black skirt, and I've got a horny toad on the back of here with a Hayabusa 2/0 trailer hook. It squeaks really good, but it also has an option to clack against the head, which I was using a lot today. I wanted to make a lot of commotion, get those fish's attention. Really good buzz bait, and it's the one I've got tied on all the time. So I'm just kind of, you know, trying to keep it in the strike zone. If I have a shorter strike zone window, and what I mean by that is, you know, I'm only able to make a short cast behind these docks, you know, then I'll really kind of slow the pace of the bait up a little bit. Kind of leave it in there as long as possible. Right now we've got fairly warm water temperatures. 57 degrees is what I'm reading, almost 58. In general, no matter what bait you're using, the colder the water, the slower the retrieval. Another keeper, right off of that point there. Ooh, he got that one good. When it starts getting a little bit colder, we get into these shorter days, this buzz bait really excels. Throw behind some of these docks and get some really big bites.